It was just yesterday, the entire crypto bubbles was red. It was a bloodbath and it looked absolutely devastating for the market. Whereas today, it is the complete opposite. We're seeing a V-shaped recovery and pretty much every single altcoin is green. In today's video, I'm going to discuss what this pump actually means, whether this is a legitimate move to potentially 100K or higher, and I'm just going to lay out everything that I'm seeing in the market. So if that sounds interesting, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I just want to mention the Cyber Monday sale is still live. Unfortunately, I didn't put the links out for various membership options. So all of the Cyber Monday deals are still valid. If you use that link down below, this is the biggest sale I've ever done for my memberships, and I don't see myself doing one any cheaper. So Bitcoin remains in this kind of no man's land, neutral zone, whatever you want to call it, between the 200-week moving average in blue and the 50-week moving average in black. I've said before, and I'll say it again, anywhere in this region for me is a very risky zone to be in spot positions. If we're above the 50-week, then I'll happily re-enter spot positions. If we hit the blue 200-week moving average, then things are so low that it is good risk reward to buy back into spot positions, even though things are down a lot, right? So we're still in that awkward middle ground right now. Now, when I say hit the 50-week, I mean get above it on a weekly close with volume and with momentum, and it has to be clear. It can't just be slightly above. It can't just tap it. It has to be a clear break above it in order for me to buy back into this market. And the great thing is the 50-week is starting to creep down now. So maybe by the time we even hit it and get above it, if we do, by the way, it's not my base case that we do, but if we do, let's just talk hypothetically, if we are to get above the 50-week, by the time we get there, it's probably going to be around the same price in which I sold my altcoins, 96K. So, you know, it's a win-win at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm in stables until one of my points of reference get hit or get broken. In the case of the 50-week, we need to break above it. In the case of the 200-week, we just need to hit it. I'm just holding off. I'm trading the market. I've made some nice gains today trading, but yeah, I'm just trading the market that I see on a day-to-day basis. And if we look at the short term on Bitcoin, we did have a massive dump and now we're having a massive recovery. And I put this dump here down to the odds from the Bank of Japan. If you go and look at the odds for a interest rate hike from the Bank of Japan, they instantly started absolutely exploding around the time of the weekly close. And it was just after the weekly close we had that massive sell-off. It's not a coincidence that those two things lined up together. So essentially what is going on now is people are coming to the realization that the Bank of Japan most likely going to be increasing rates, and that is going to have a bit of a sucking effect of the liquidity globally. So many people are using the Japanese bank to get low interest rate loans, and people are going to pay them off if they actually go ahead here and increase the interest rates. So it's not good for global liquidity, especially for a very liquid asset like Bitcoin. Now, the argument is, has this fully been priced in? And I would argue that it hasn't. I think if they came out and actually increased rates, we would probably see a sell-off after that news. But until then, I think we have room to pump. I really do. I think there's a chance until we get that news, Bitcoin could actually come up here and potentially make that move to the 50-week moving average. I've talked multiple times that my base case is that Bitcoin makes a move up to the 50, rejects, and then we get that move down to the 200. It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be straight down. I'd hope it would be straight down and we can have a really quick bear market and get it over with and done with very quickly. But most of the time, when you lose the 50-week, you come back up and you retest it, but as resistance, and then you lose it. And we can see a perfect example of this playing out last cycle where we lost the 50-week here. We came back up, we retested it, we went above it slightly, and then we lost it. It wasn't a clear enough break above it. And that is where the real bear market began. And that is where we made that move down to the 200-week on BTC. So that's to be my base case right now until proven otherwise. If we look at the 4-hour, there is a bit of resistance around 93K there or thereabouts for me, if we break above 93K, then that most likely is going to confirm that move up to the 50-week moving average if we get above 93K, which we can predict based off looking at the data here and the fact that it's starting to creep down slightly. We can predict that by the time we get there, if we do in December, the 50-week moving average is probably going to be somewhere between like 99 to 102K. And like I said, my base case going into that is a rejection. If we were to break above it, then that basically breaks the 4-year cycle in a way, because that is completely abnormal. So if we actually go above that and break above it on a confirmed weekly close, maybe 2 back-to-back weekly closes, then that questions everything that we know about the cyclical norms of BTC. From a macro view, it's not all bearish. For Bitcoin, it looks very bearish, but for the total market cap, this is something I'm monitoring. We are actually on support here, and this has been held numerous times this cycle. If we lose this support at any point, that is like the nail in the coffin. That is confirmation for me that we are heading down a lot more with the altcoin market. I think we're going to potentially get that bounce up to the 50-week moving average. That doesn't mean that just because I'm in stables, I'm not going to make any money. I will be trading this market, and I'm going to lay out to you a couple of potential trade opportunities for me. One of the potential trade opportunities that I'm looking at has been XPL. I'm looking for a potential breakout move here. If we can get a breakout move above this resistance, then I would look for a potential swing long opportunity on XPL. It just got listed on Coinbase, which is very bullish news, but it's not really seeing any impact from the price. So, sometimes in a bear market, you don't really get pumps when good news comes out. And, I was saying that essentially in a bear market, good news is nullified, bad news is amplified. And that's really the story of a bear market for altcoins. Another potential long opportunity would be Monad. I am actually in a long on Monad right now. I'm liking what I'm seeing with the overall chart. Came down, retested these levels here, and we got a nice bounce. So I'm looking at Monad. It's a new layer 1 that's just dropped. Very anticipated launch. Hasn't necessarily got to the heights I would have thought it would on launch. It's not even in the top 100, but it's a potential undervalued play if you consider the fact that it launched at bad timing. It's a quality layer 1. It's on Coinbase. And if we get some form of short-term risk on sentiment, then Monad is probably going to have a really nice rally. You can be bullish and bearish at the same time. Like I've said in the last couple of live streams, I'm short-term bullish. I do think we're going to have some form of a relief rally, which you can actually trade and make some good gains on to the upside. But I still think the damages have been done. And until we get above that 50-week moving average, we are still very much in a downtrend. And, we should be expecting lower from a macro point of view on BTC. Long term, however, we all know where Bitcoin's going. We're probably going to $1 million some point in the next decade. But everything in the middle, is a trader's market essentially. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure to sign up to an account on Blowfin using the link down below. There's a current trading competition available. If you use that link, you could potentially get some big rewards. And check out the VIP promo sale down below. That Cyber Monday sale will be going very soon. Highly recommend that you use it.